Welcome to Blind Cafe's Naked DJs podcast, where every day we expose ourselves to the very best music. Some days we like to shake it up, some days we let it all hang out, and others we just like to stick it out there for you to listen to.
Welcome to another episode of the Naked DJs. Tonight we are joined by Foxy Lady J, Dr. Johnny Love, and DJ Tom. Curtis and Maria are unable to join us tonight, so we're going to get things started immediately. But the first thing I'd like to say is, for all of you Garth Brooks fans out there, he has already canceled his shows, but he has told everyone that he will be refunding all of the tickets that he has sold, and he was going to do a show in San Diego, California, but he didn't sell any tickets there. But I just wanted to let all of you know that he will be refunding all of your tickets. The other next thing I'd like to actually mention is we have a Ed Sheeran new album coming out, and that is the album. Oh shoot, I forgot what the album name was, but the two songs on there was Bad Habits and I forgot the other one as well. My apologies. But I want to get to the other DJs though here. I just want to make a couple announcements, and that didn't quite work out the way I wanted. So I got a question. R. Kelly is starting his court case, but before we even get into that, about all the sex trafficking or all this crimes that he's been committed of with sex offenders and all that, I want to go around the table here and ask each and one of you, were you an R. Kelly fan, or were you not, or did you like his music? And if, you can give a reason why if you want. There is a follow-up question to this question. That's why I'm asking this. So let's start with Julie. Julie, please tell me about R. Kelly. Did you like his music? Did you like anything about him whatsoever before you found out that he was being charged with all these sex offender charges?
Well, first of all, could we go back to the Garth Brooks? One of the reasons he cancelled is the COVID, not just everything out there, but Trisha, his wife, got the COVID, and he stood by her side the whole time. They made a room and quarantined her, but he never left her side, and he didn't get it. What a lovely husband.
Absolutely. And the Ed Sheeran CD is called Equals. That's right. He is still doing the names of his CDs with mathematical names for all of his albums. And it will drop in late October. The two songs that are singles right now are Visiting Hours and Bad Habits. So those two songs will be on that album. So make sure you guys look for it in late October.
And I believe Bad Habits is number one on the Spencer James show.
It's on both America top charts and the English charts. It's a good song. I like it.
Oh, I do too.
It is. It's a really good song. So, R. Kelly, Julie, give me your thoughts and opinions about him before you found out about his crime acts of the things that he did.
Well, I've heard some of his songs and I thought they were okay. But then when I found out what he did, I will never listen to another R. Kelly song. So there you go.
Tom?
The only song that I'm really familiar with from him is I Believe I Can Fly. As far as I'm concerned, I thought that's the only hit he ever had. With regard to his infamy, if he's guilty, they should put him under the jail and throw away the key.
We'll get that in just a minute. Johnny?
I'll agree with what Tom said. I only knew R. Kelly, the one song he did, I Believe I Could Fly. As for him being on trial, hey, if he's guilty, then, lock him up, throw away the key, put him under the jail. I don't care. Put him in cement. Do what you got to do.
All right.
Well,
so
if he does get found guilty and he's put away, he's not a criminal anymore or a convict. As of today, they're going to be called residents because convict and criminal makes them sound bad, and it gives them a stigma, and it's not good for their psyche.
And he also did a song called Bump and Grind too, if you remember that, Johnny. A little bit of Bump and Grind.
Oh yeah. Now I remember that one. Yeah, I didn't think much of that, so nah.
All right. What else do you guys have to say about him as a person now that you guys already brought that part up? So my next question is your thoughts and stuff as in him, as in the charges that have been brought against him, and all of you have already made your opinion.
Well, with regard to the political correctness, political correctness is what I call it. Political correctness, they're criminals. They are offenders. They are what they are. And too bad if their feelings are hurt. Tell that to the girls that Mr. Kelly allegedly exploited.
Anybody else?
Exactly. That's what they were saying today. They're like, what about the victims?
Exactly.
Well, that's because they all try to play the victim instead of the real victims.
Now, before I ask the last question, let's go to Bob Dylan real quick. Now, he is being charged from a crime back in 1965. Yes, back in 1965 of sexual assault, and it has not been determined. He's being sued. And so I want to get you guys' thoughts and feelings on that subject. And if you guys liked Bob Dylan before you knew he was being charged with this now as well, or did you not like him? Again, there's a follow-up question for both artists after you guys answer. We'll start with Johnny this time.
I've always liked Bob Dylan, and to me, this just smacks of the one question. Okay, it happened in '65, which was a great year, by the way, because I was born. But why wait 56 years to come out and say something? Why? Were you waiting to see if he became a big star or something? And now that he has, I'm going to exploit it now? No, I'm sorry. The expiration date has expired. Move on.
Julie?
Well, he did say in his defense, he said, I've got proof. And obviously he didn't say what proof, but he said he has proof that will prove he never did what he's accused of. And again, like you just said, if he did do it, wouldn't there have been more than just the one person? And back then, the Beatles and all of them, when they were up and coming, I mean, these groupies hung around them, and they threw themselves at them freely, so I don't know. And I'm like, if that did happen, 5 years later, 10 years later, like Johnny said, 56 years later, I don't know.
Tom?
From the legal standpoint, the statute of limitation is more than up. So I don't think they have much of a leg to stand on, even if he did it.
Exactly. I was going to bring that up. The statutes of limitation has expired, just like Johnny said as well. But so here's my follow-up question, and these are for both artists at the same time. Now, let's for example, if Art Kelly's found guilty and Bob Dylan has both been found guilty, here's my question. Should they, because if you go to jail, you lose all rights to everything. You don't get to work freely. You don't get to make a salary. You work for pennies at the jail. Do you still feel like they should get royalties for their songs if they're known as criminals while they're in prison? I mean, that question had to have come up in the past with lawmakers and all that in the past, as in, can they still make thousands of dollars while they're still in prison? I mean, yes, they can, but do you feel that it's right that they can do that even though they've been found guilty of their crimes and what they did to other people? So this time we'll start with Tom.
Technically, they are entitled to make royalties on their music because the income is self-perpetuating. Should they have access to the money while they're in prison? No. Should they make the money and just have it put aside once they, after doing the crime, after they do the time, then once they get out, fine. But I don't think they should have access to it while they're in prison. No.
Johnny?
I'm thinking the same way Tom was. Yeah, I mean, hey, they have a right to the royalties, but while they're in jail, they shouldn't get any of it. And believe it or not, there is a law. I believe it's called the David Berkowitz law, or the Son of Sam law. When he got busted and arrested, he talked about writing a book and stuff like that. And they said, oh, no, you can write the book. You're just not going to get anything from it. It's going to go to the victims and stuff. So I believe there is a law in place for that. As for the music, I don't know. But yeah, save the money when they get out. At least they have something to get out to. But I don't see R. Kelly getting out for a long time.
Julie?
I'm with Johnny. I don't think R. Kelly's going to be out for a long time. And I agree, they deserve the royalties, whether they're incarcerated or not. But it should be frozen until they do get out.
Okay, so here's my next question for all three of you. Fine, you guys all agreed that they should still get their royalties, their money, no matter what, if they're incarcerated. So my question is, the money that they make while they're incarcerated, shouldn't that go to like the victims advocate of other organizations, stuff like that? All the money that they make from those royalties, do you think they should be able to keep it when they get out, or do you think it should go to the victims of? It's because remember when the football player O.J. Simpson wrote that book, he lost all rights to it and all money to it. It went to the victims. And so my question is, as a singer, should they be putting all their money, or all the states or the government or whatever should put all their money that they make while they're incarcerated towards those victims, and then they can, start getting the royalties back when they're out? Or do you think they should just be able to keep it? I mean, I understand they wrote the song. I understand that they spent all that time getting it produced and getting it done and getting it out there, going to concerts and everything. But again, in my opinion, though, I think when you are committed a crime, it's just like me going to, say I'm a CEO of something and I get busted and I'm going to prison. Well, I'm no longer the CEO. I'm no longer making money. In my opinion, I think it should be the same way for the singers as well. If they're busted, they lose all their rights. They should lose all their money as well. But what do you guys think about all their money going towards a charity or a victims advocate organization while they're in jail? Julie, we'll start with you on this one.
Well, again, I mean, I don't care if it goes to the victims.
So you don't have a feeling about it one way or the other?
Well, if you were the victim, I'm sure they would really appreciate it. And I'm not a lawyer, so I really don't know how that should work.
I mean, just in your opinion, though.
In my opinion, give it to the victims.
Johnny?
I like that idea. Give it to the victims while they're in jail, but get, the either Dylan and or Kelly to sign an agreement. That way they can't sit there and go, oh, no, it's not supposed to be like that. And when they get out, well, in Kelly's case, if he ever gets out, R. Kelly, you can give me the money, man. I'll take care of it for you. Anyway, no, I believe once they get out of jail, the money should be theirs. But while they're in jail, any money they make, that goes to the victims. That would be the best thing.
Tom?
I personally believe that part of the incarceration process is being held accountable and responsible for the people that you've hurt. In my opinion, it should not go to a, quote, victim charity or victim advocacy group. I think it should go to the specific victims that they allegedly have hurt along the way. And that kind of stuff comes out in the sentencing phase of whatever trial by jury that they go through. Find out beyond a shadow of a doubt that this victim was hurt by so-and-so, and let so-and-so pay that victim specifically with their royalties.
You know, I like that. Just send it off to the victims. They can split it through all the victims. I really like that. So, all right. So we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be right back, because on this next segment that when we come back, we're going to be talking about McDonald's and the newest thing that they have done recently. And I'm going to get all the DJ's opinions on that as well. So we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Tune into Blind Cafe Radio on iHeart.
Welcome back to Blind Cafe Radio. Now that we have gotten that out of the way, we want to make sure that all of you guys remember who's all here. We got Dr. Johnny Love, Foxy Lady J, and DJ Tom, and Maria and Curtis will join us on our next podcast. All right. So here's my thing, guys and ladies. McDonald's has started a new project. That's what I'm going to call it. And they start off with a multi-platinum rapper, Saweetie. I believe that's how you say her name.
Actually, I'm looking at it. It's Saweetie, 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 I guess.
Saweetie. Okay.
Oh,
I just couldn't.
Sweetie. It's like a play on Sweetie.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm glad we got
That's
that.
just too sweet.
I'm glad we got that worked out. And she had a single hit with Sweet Icy. I'm sorry, it's just called Icy Girl. And McDonald's is looking for a diverse customer status. So here's my thing. I know all three of you read up on this, and we already know that other places like Nike's and that, endorse basketball players. You got other black singers, you have Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and a heck of a lot more. I think even Lionel Richie is black as well. So, you have entertainers and singers that have made it big just like everybody else. But here's my question for the McDonald's one. They are making some foods named after her, and they're going to do that with some other diverse artists and everything. Is McDonald's actually doing this to support these singers, or is this a political step by McDonald's to try to grow their numbers and make even more money? So that's my major question right there. Are they doing it for the singers and really trying to get their name out there and make it big for them, or is McDonald's doing it for themselves? And that's my big question right there. So I'm going to start with that one first, and we're going to start with Johnny.
I'll tell you, like I said, I've never heard of her, but my opinion, I think they're doing a little bit of both. I think they're trying to get the singer's name out there, but I think they're also trying to be politically diversified and stuff like that, so they can sit there and go, see what we're doing? We're being good. We're doing this, But if that's the case, how come no one from the Blind Cafe Radio been endorsed by McDonald's? What's up with that?
That's a good question. But so do you think they're actually doing it more politically, or actually really trying to support the diversity of the other artists, Johnny?
I think a little bit of both, but I'd say if you put a gun to my head and ask me that, I'd have to say maybe they're trying to support the artists, kind of get them out there known. Although, hey, who knows? Maybe I might just check this Saweetie out and, see what she's all about. I mean, that and maybe get a quarter pounder or whatever.
Yeah, well, she's definitely a rapper, I can tell you that.
I think it's all political. Everything today is all politically motivated. Doesn't matter what it is. It's crazy. I mean, I just cannot imagine McDonald's making special meals because of her. McDonald's is McDonald's.
Exactly. I've never seen McDonald's do anything like this before. They always had their Big Macs. They've always had their quarter pounders and cheese and filet of fish and all that. And they've never had a name in front of them as a artist sports person or anything like that. I mean, now they did back in the 80s, Johnny and Tom and Julie, if you remember correctly, they would, the one thing that they used to is put the sports peoples on their cups, like John Elway and stuff like that. So if you buy a cup that has John Elway on it, it's what do you call those? Collectibles, I guess you could call them, or whatever. I mean, they would always do stuff like that on their cups, but I've never seen it on their food. Tom, your opinion?
If you want to talk about diversity, then if you think of the term diversity, that's all things being equal. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
I would.
Absolutely. That's part of my next question. Keep going with your thought.
All right. If diversity can be defined as all things equal, why is it a black issue or a brown issue? Why aren't there white artists involved? Why aren't there Asian artists involved? It's all political. I agree with you, Julie, 100%. I think it is a marketing strategy to reach a certain demographic, because with health conscious focus, McDonald's is starting to lose a little ground. So I think they're trying to use this as a marketing ploy and a political tool.
Okay. And so that brings me to my next question, because I definitely want to stay away from the politics end of it, but I had to bring it up a little bit because I wanted to get some opinion on both sides. And you did bring up equalship opportunities there, Tom. And that was going to be my next question, because, you have, and, all joking aside, it's not us or whatever. I mean, I'd love to have Blind Cafe Radio on something like that or whatever, but, you have the Special Olympics. You have other organizations out there that have disabilities, but they've made a name for themselves as in those, let's go back to the Special Olympics. Their top sports people, their top athletes are, recognized through that community, but why aren't they being pushed as a top entertainer or a sports person because of their disability? And that's what I look at it as. I look at it as in a disability. If you have a disability, you're not recognized. But if you are a different color or anything like that, then you are, top dog, or however you want to put it. So, Johnny, what's your opinion as in the equalness of all this? As in, they're not recognizing any of the other top athletes or artists when they're disabled, but they're only recognizing the diversity of color, and that's it.
Well, thank you for mentioning the Special Olympics, because I remember at one time it used to be on their cups that they sponsored the Special Olympics at one point. When it comes down to it, it's like they're basically, I don't know why they don't put the handicap athletes out there, the Paralympics too, while we're at it. It just seems, I guess, that the race thing seems to be more popular to go with, and that's what everyone goes with, media included.
Exactly. Tom?
I think, again, I go back to diversity being all things equal. That's not the case here. And secondly, when I look at what makes an individual a hero, I think of statesmen or people that really do an amazing accomplishment. They run into a burning building and save somebody. In my humble opinion, rappers, singers, entertainers, they're not heroes. It's their vocation, that's what they do, but they're not heroes. They don't represent me 99.99% of the time.
And they get paid for it very, very well. I mean, what are we going to have next? Cardi B, I think her name is. What are we going to have? What burgers?
So yeah, I agree. I just received a message from our other DJ, Curtis. He said he's doing okay. He will definitely be at the next podcast. And so basically that was my last question, because all of us do agree that if someone's going to be diversified, as in what they're trying to do, that it should be everybody in all different races, all different abilities, and so on. It shouldn't just be one or the other. And Tom, I do agree with you as well. A hero is someone running into a burning building and all that. What they do is entertaining. They're entertainers, and that's all they are. They make money at it, and that's it. But a real hero is somebody that puts their life on the line, and that's how I look at that as well. Well, any other comments from any of you before we stop this?
Yeah, I think we need the Foxy Lady J filet of fish sandwich. I think
Now that's funny.
Or how about the Lightning Blind Mike double quarter pounder with cheese?
Or
See, I like that.
Terminator burger.
Oh, I like that. The Tominator burger.
Oh,
I like that.
I like that. I can say the same thing about sports athletes that get multi-millions and millions of dollars. They're not heroes. They're athletes. They're entertainers. I can say the same thing about them as I do about singers. And these people that entertain for whatever field they entertain in, they should stick to that instead of putting their political noses in things that they know nothing about.
Oh, I tell you, I don't even watch the awards anymore.
Neither do I.
Watching the awards, when they go up there and they do their political speeches, it's like, wait a minute. You're winning this award because you're a great singer. And I want to hear you thank all of your fans and everybody that got you there. I don't want to know what your political beliefs are. That should have nothing to do with the awards that they're winning.
Exactly, especially with the athletes, the Olympics, all that. I want to be there. I want to be entertained. I want to appreciate what you guys are doing for the country, what you're doing for yourselves. I don't really care about your political opinion when it comes to certain things like this. It's just, that's why we do this music DJ thing, because we want to talk about the music, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're giving you guys, the listeners, a chance now to actually leave us a message. You can do that right there in YouTube in our channel. You can leave us a message on this podcast and tell us your thoughts on those questions that I had about Art Kelly and Bob Dylan, and then also give us your comments on the McDonald's questions as well, and some of your own opinions on top of that, and we'll even answer them. So I would like to thank all of the DJs tonight that came in: Johnny, Dr. Johnny Love, Foxy Lady J, DJ Tom, and myself, Lightning Blind Mike, for us allowing us to come into your homes and listen to us talk about our beliefs and our music that we love playing for you guys on Blind Cafe Radio. So make sure you guys rate and review and follow Blind Cafe Radio on our Facebook /Blind Cafe Radio, Twitter @Blind Cafe Radio, and don't forget to download our Blind Cafe Radio app. I do believe Tom's getting ready to go on vacation, and he just got done telling his listeners this morning that he's going on vacation, but he's taking the Blind Cafe Radio app wherever he goes because he just got done downloading it. And so now the rest of us DJs expect Tom to be listening to our shows. But we want to thank you guys again for allowing us to come in. So again, we'll be back again. I'm Lightning Blind Mike. This is the Naked DJs, and you guys have a great day.
Thanks for listening, all. Take care.
I'm wearing pants.
Go and check out Blind Cafe Radio at blindcaferadio.com, and also follow us on Twitter at Blind Cafe Radio and on Facebook at Blind Cafe Radio. Make sure you visit our webpage at blindcaferadio.com, where you can visit our naked DJ. And this is the Blind Cafe Kangaroo, signing off.